She's doing just fine over there.
Behind you?
She's doing just fine over there. Behind
okay. Just making sure.
If I'm still here when it thins out a bit, I'm gonna put her.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah.
Just bend her in.
There's gonna be a hole in the middle of that when you get back.
Stick it corrugated brown thing.
When I was a kid at my grandparents' house, my bedroom was in the basement.
Honey, can you take
And my grandfather worked for Pepsi.
You're lucky they left
Yes.
you in the house.
Stuff, so
and then let me go
I was out at a dance or something like that for high school, and I'd come home, and I had my own entrance, so I'd go in straight downstairs, go into my bedroom, and I'd hit the lights. My grandfather had stuck this black velvet girl cut out in there. I was like, oh, scared the shit out of me, man. I swear to God, I almost wet my pants.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
I let out a scream,
Right, we're
and I come
coming
running
back
up.
from break, and I'll read you out the chip counts here. Brandon has 13,575. Linda Johnson with 2,825.
It wasn't like a prankster.
Suited Dan playing for Marco has 4,700. Each player did start at
Because
6,000.
I could not believe he did
Paul
that.
Moskowitz has 4,800 in chips. Joe Brunson with 3,125. Heather Kimmel with 6,700. Robert Newman with 13,600. Ryan was out in 10th. Ed Wurgler with 3,575. And Steve Day with 7,075.
That was unusual. It was a go, though.
We'll be getting started here. And PJ, and
All right, I got one better than that.
I got better.
My
And
brother, he played Pee Wee football with Sean O'Hara.
Button is on Heather, which means Steve Day in the blue to the right is to act first.
And because O'Hara grew up in Medina before moving and obviously moving to the pros. Well, when
Steve
they were
calls with
kids,
his
Sean was
Jack
a center
Queen
on the
again.
U8 team, and
Been getting those quite often.
as a joke, he cut a hole in the crotch of his pants.
Yeah, I don't play Jack Queen.
So
Don't mind him in position.
quarterback comes up, puts his hands under there, goes, well then,
That's quite loud.
I was going to say, you never
they're
wonder where
interviewing
Newman's
Eli
at.
Manning, and he tells about this prank that Sean O'Hara, he did the exact same thing to Eli Manning. At practice, cuts the hole in his pants, and his, cojones are hanging out. He walks up under center. Oh, check.
That is so awesome. That's funny.
Here we go. We got a set of fives for Ed.
1,000 is the
The nastier the better.
That is something radio guy can love. When another dude comes up
Just be
and
afraid of the draws.
Yeah, dude.
Got Spades out there. To see where he's at.
I like the bet.
Good bet, yep.
right.
Here's the other for Fred, retail chain.
But moves, and it's Brandon Rosenberg, seat 1 to act first.
Check on each store, and one morning he goes into one of the stores. The gate's down, but not all the way. He lifts the gate, and he goes into the back office, and he finds the manager having an intimate moment with the vacuum the back of the room. So he calls me, the guy.
Was it a Dyson?
For any of you fans out there, they're going to be in Vegas.
Sorry, never mind.
Their future Linda is going to be playing in the World Series of Poker event. I believe she said on June 20th. One of the $1,500 buy-in events. She won her way in through another league.
Didn't the rollers hurt?
Yeah, she did that last year too, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
That's so awesome.
My daughter's like 2.
I'm actually going to be out there at the same time as her. I'm going to see if I can watch her a little bit the day she plays.
Do you have the time out there to be able to play with her?
Well, I was actually going to play in that same event, and I just had to put $2,000 into the car, which pretty well ate up my bankroll.
Need somebody to sponsor you.
Well, anybody out there, I'm willing to play. If you want to stake horse me.
There you go, folks. Anybody interested in staking Paul Boston? Great player, and the I don't know which event it is. The $2,000 buy-in, probably a hold'em game.
$1,500. It's a $1,500 buy-in, no limit hold'em.
Ah. Let's see, where are we here?
275 is the bet.
Nobody's got anything, so who bet?
Ace high.
I think anybody that
Call.
bet here.
Yeah, Newman called it.
And somebody called?
So, yeah, well, Brandon bet it.
Oh, okay. And Brandon hits the 10.
Brandon does hit the 10.
975.
He's got to call this.
Yep. Didn't stay in it to fold. And hit his top card. Think he's contemplating a raise?
I think he's thinking about folding. But, yeah, he's got to call. Good call.
Wow. Brandon does it again.
Well, the way the hand played out, you can't put him on a king. You can't put him on a deuce. So when you hit pair bigger and everything else, yeah, I figured once he worked that out in his head, he would call. Because nobody bet the flop. If he'd have hit top pair, he'd have bet the flop.
Call Brandon River Monster. But moves to Ed, sitting there with the black leather hat, which Linda Johnson in the pink to act first.
Oh.
Sorry.
You might have to reset that. Hang on. Oh, okay.
Are there two on
Right,
there?
go ahead.
Okay.
They don't have the same card.
Steve with fours.
I don't know yet.
He's been getting them little pairs, suited connectors.
Interesting, nobody loves
Like,
standards.
what?
Let's limit to it.
How they don't have two the same cards in that hand?
Some hands that look good but just lose so many pots.
Ed calls. Ed with ace deuce.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Here it is.
I really like that jack 9 and then a jack flops. Oh, but a set of fours for Steve.
So many players in it too.
500 is bet.
Linda bets 500.
I'd like to see Steve just smooth call here.
I
Nice.
think you're right. Wow.
There's no draws out there. Small raise.
You said 5, right?
It's only 5.
It's only 5.
Oh, I think it's 7. Just 5. So they're trying to create a side pot again.
Oh,
man.
that just cost Linda a lot.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Full house for Steve.
That'll probably break her.
Like raise.
All right, now she only has a 9 kicker on there, so
She had so few chips to start this, though. She was the short stack.
Jack 9.
Yeah, she pretty much got to go. Yeah, she's got to go wrong.
Nice.
That's just bad luck.
Steve takes her out with that hand too.
Yeah, you get trips and you get chips. There's not much you can do.
Enjoy your cake. Grab a piece of that cake on your way out, all right?
Bye, Linda.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Mom, big on my left.
Paul,
I know it's difficult to believe coming from me, and I have to preface this. I mean this in the least creepy way possible. Small. But your daughter is gorgeous.
The least creepy way possible.
I don't go big. I
know he's talking to Linda. I'm friends with Linda on Facebook, and
Well, I know
her daughter is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because he has a daughter.
Oh, I was punished. I prayed for a boy that I knew I was going to get punished
Yes,
for
sir,
a
he
girl
is.
because, I deserve it. So
Thank you.
now my only hope
I
is
believe it's
to
big blind only.
That's
And suited
That's the
down
only
from
thing I
market
heard.
calls.
Fold.
Hey, Dad.
How you doing?
Like the Family Guy where
on this
it's in the future and what's her face gets the section.
Well, I told everybody out there to if they're out in Vegas on the 20th, to come look you up out there.
Yep. She'll be signing autographs.
Yeah, there wasn't much you could do there on the short
10-2
stack.
ace, Heather Kitts tips. And a full house
No,
for
she
Heather
does.
this
She
time.
looks like you.
And
She looks
will
like
she let
Joe Brenson on
Maybe
the
it's just
draw.
because you guys were in the
she
picture
let
together.
somebody try and catch up a little bit?
Yeah, she's, oh my God, she
Looks like she's going to bet it.
she's like,
That should
Wow. Where at? What school?
it should take it down.
Suited Dan folds.
and she'll start.
Joe Brenson on the draw for diamonds.
What's she majoring in? She knows.
Oh, and he's going to see it. He's lucky he didn't hit his diamonds.
Yes, he is.
He hit 2 pair out there, though.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that'll keep it in.
I mean, he's a monster. For some reason, I was just like,
So when you find out what table you're at on the 20th, put it on Facebook.
I didn't hit the rip.
I'll come over and watch you a little bit.
I had pocket irons.
Oh, I know. I know like 4
If we're out
people.
there, I'll bring pom-poms.
I know 4 people that are going to be out there that week.
What, July 20th? Is that what?
I know, but
June.
June 20th?
in the booth where you go. Whoa! That was good. Cards are good.
That's a record shoot.
I'll be out there from the 17th to the 22nd, but I'll be playing the little buy-in events, like the $200 ones now.
The single table sitting
Going
was a
up.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
What?
She said raise.
I heard.
She said raise
Heather,
and then grab
pocket
the
queens,
four.
announces
I
the
was
raise.
like,
And a lot of those deep stack extravaganzas and deep stack events, a few different,
She was going to raise to 125.
some nice series where you can win $15,000, $20,000 on some $300-$400 buy-ins.
Wow.
Wait till I'm in there next week.
Oh!
Fuck the dealer all night long. He's like, look at every mistake you make is gonna be pointed out.
Don't matter. Just one.
Do I hear a new nickname for the dealer? Oh, we have the train best guy coming in.
Heather to act first this hand.
Bam. My better, right?
Well, yeah.
What they call words my better. You know, I never said one bad thing about you.
Not one time.
10 weeks.
He is lying.
10
Have you
weeks.
watched any of this? Oh my god. You're like third after Moskowitz and me.
You're alright, Monzo. Dan PJ cards?
They were right up with that. That was pretty fun.
All with pocket fives here.
One under my coffee table.
Suited Dan with King 10. He might get in the spot with him.
475.
Raise.
Brandon raises. 10-7 off.
Yeah, and he's hitting like crazy.
Yes, he is.
And he's on a hot streak.
That's yeah. I said that before we started. He said he's been hot.
Looks like suited Dan calls. Suited Dan playing for Marco tonight.
I would love to see Paul re-raise here.
Oh yeah. That's too boring. We want the college crowd. We want the
Moskowitz
18 to 24 demographic. They want to drink as fast as possible. So the Moskowitz is perfect.
We should be promoting that I can do before it starts.
I bet we could market
Alright, there's
this as
three
like an
tens out
Xbox
there.
game. Xbox drinking game. The Moskowitz.
Yeah. See how Moskowitz's fives would have been doing there. Yeah, still nothing.
He would have been ahead with a draw.
Brandon on a straight draw. See if suited Dan's a believer on this one.
And Brandon let out. He raised in continuation bet.
Let's go.
That's the power of aggression there.
Couldn't ask for a better flop while I'm trying to steal.
Yeah, you could.
I know it could have been 10, 10, 10, I suppose, yeah.
Look away.
I checked it there. It wasn't coming 10, 10, 10, I bet.
Streaks were just not on the game.
Oh yeah.
But I'm hoping to spend that in the next 2 weeks. Actually,
Something like that.
Going back through these and seeing how you played could help you too.
Raise. Going up.
Rob Newman announces a raise with his ace-6 off.
Just see like a look at the blind.
Right behind him, Ed Wergler, ace-king.
And just remember, if you make day 2 this time,
Call,
make
Zane.
sure you know what time they start.
Oh, does it change?
No, I was at an event and I missed
really want to say that?
10 minutes getting into it because I thought it was late. And I thought I had left myself on
It's his incision, man. I gotta see it.
Look at that.
Jack.
Drink and make it take
Yes.
Get over here.
Come here. Now I'm proud of you. You give me the ball.
Yeah.
6 more.
Oh, yeah.
Go
Wait.
I didn't see your card.
I was following on that log, and
It was a few.
I was going to try and send you a text, but then before you it said
Heather
you got there.
folds a really bad
Yeah.
hand. The 3-8 of diamonds were, or 3-8 of hearts were shown.
But I said, is it up to me? And I
Oh, yeah.
Newman catches his 6.
I'm sorry. I
Go to Ed.
It's up to me. It's the last person before the.
Calls.
12 bet, 12 call.
4th street is an 8 of clubs. That's really in trouble if the ace does come. Newman checks.
When you know what's
Ed
hot
Wergler
out there.
checks. Diamonds on the river.
just have the 6.
Well, of course you don't have an 8 or a 3.
Right.
Here's another one that's running pretty hot tonight.
Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Button is on Joe Brunson. Ed Wergler to egg first.
Just a call.
The deal was the best favorite hand. That's what you're playing. You're already halfway there. We're really big
Halfway
blind.
there.
You're already halfway there.
200 is
Brandon,
halfway of
That's halfway there.
200 times 2 is 800, kid.
For sure. 2 and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
that?
There we go.
8,
Much better.
2.
You never heard that?
That's on auto exposure there too. I don't know what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Jack? Here we go. Call. Fold.
Pocket force for Newman.
Let's see what he does with them out of a big blind.
Heather calls from the small blind.
1 up.
Raise announced.
I like that.
6 more.
6 more.
You're halfway there.
I like that with all them limpers.
I'm glad you said that. It's going to make it itch. Much better.
Calls.
That's a pretty loose call with Jack Queen on. What's that? 600 on top.
Ed and Rob play a lot together, so yeah, so they know each
I
other.
didn't know that.
6 more. You were small blind.
But I had already told it.
Yeah.
Two
When
people
this
have
happened,
cards.
I heard you. I don't know why I didn't do it already. I heard you actually say you were going to play with
Heads up action.
2 players.
Check.
Newman checks his 4s. Ed checks his queen high.
Check.
Yeah, they played the last game. It's so weird.
Check.
Ed does not improve.
And you kick it down with him?
The rich get richer. Betting on Heather now, so Steve Date first.
I was going to ask too, but I thought that was over.
Next hand, guys. Blinds are up 150, 300. Next hand.
I was going to ask him too, but I
The
thought.
blinds are 100, 200.
So I was like,
Next hand will be 150, 300.
you didn't want change. That's what it is. Cut your goddamn hands right.
Watch your hands, brother.
Sorry if I jinxed it.
Anybody see Tosh.0?
Yes.
Did you see that video? The tasing
Steve
video?
with another
Awesome! I'll tell you about it in a second.
Cars right, DJ?
I don't know, you might have a copyright. You might not be able to say it.
Steve Day reaching for chips with his
Yeah,
10
yeah, yeah.
jack of diamonds.
Calls two.
Just a call.
Here you go.
Brandon 5-8 of spades. Oh yeah, he's in it.
That's right in his wheelhouse.
Joe Brenson, ace 5 offsuit. Let it go. Newman suited queen 3. Four players to the flop.
16.
Looks like Newman catches the queen, bet 1600.
Steve's got
So there's
another
this big
open-end
blind
straight draw.
And it's clearly a domestic violence call.
I think that's about
Cops show
10
up,
of them for him
and he's
tonight.
challenging the cops, and they finally just tase him, and he's got the prongs in his chest, and he's like, no! And he turns and he goes, I'm gonna get you, bitch! And then he just lays himself down on the ground. He points at, I'm assuming his girlfriend or wife, or like, I'm gonna get you, bitch! And he just lays down on the ground. Oh, it was awesome. It's a great video.
How they get these videos? Is that a police video?
Yeah.
Spades is not
Oh,
one of
no,
the
I don't know.
assets.
It might be just some schmuck.
Roger first, sir.
16.
Call.
Straight.
16. I don't think it's enough to get him to fold.
This far.
You're going to bluff at it.
I heard on this far.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Queen.
The gateway.
You're going to bluff. You got to bluff
Gonna
big
fold very
sometimes.
Yeah, he should. If he had bet 3,200, I think Newman might have folded it.
That wasn't even half the size of the pot.
Yep.
He's pretty well committed with top pair.
Yep.
Wow. We're 3 minutes into this line. We haven't even played.
It's an expensive hand for Steve Day there.
3 orbits.
Yeah, this straight draw
No, Rob.
kill her sometimes.
Sorry, thanks.
Hey, Rob, quit snatching other people's cards, damn it.
Give him kudos for doing the bet at the end there.
Oh yeah, you got to fire at it, especially when you check to him. I just wish you did. If he's going to do it, you got to do it a little bit harder.
Yep. Over to Moskowitz.
Suited Dan taking the
Folds.
night off tonight, I think.
Trying to do Marco proud.
Call.
Ed calls from the small blind. Steve Day checks.
Check, check, check.
Ace 9-4. Nobody with an ace. Nobody with 2 aces.
Ed with a spade draw.
4 1/4 is the best. 425.
Queen Deuce takes a stab at it.
You check to Brandon twice. Most of the time, he's going to bet.
Call.
Rob calls with the Queen 8 offsuit. No pair, no draw.
Interesting.
And the draw folds.
Newman has the check mark.
Check.
Queen high.
Queen high. Oh, the 8!
The 8 players?
8 plays.
I know.
Missed it by 1.
Outpicked him.
Yep. Amazing.
Oh. You could be the queen garbage. Or the garbage garbage.
I knew I should have got the river. I was like,
Unless you went, unless you, 800 I would call. You would have gotten pretty crazy for me not to call. I've seen you turn over too much bullshit.
Oh, I do have to turn over some monsters too. Wait, Rob, like you have to turn over some bull.
I know.
We all do it.
He just did and won the pot with it.
That's me. Yeah. You're welcome to move it. I just did.
PJ?
Another 10 jack out there for Steve.
False.
That's cool. I was like, shit, when you called, I was like, damn, he's got fucking king high.
Brunson
I
folds.
can't bet it. So you should have called me king high. I was like, you guys say queen high, you say queen high. I was like, oh.
Oh, if Rob doesn't play his queen,
I thought you had it's like queen 10 or something. Yeah.
Well, I thought you had like, this is gonna be, and I was like, switch your trouble this shit.
I'm gonna have to show queen 8. This is awful. And then you turn over a deuce. I was like, oh, hey.
Check 600 is bet.
Brandon with the best hand, bet 600.
I'll fold.
I thought for sure Rob was going to call.
I just,
It too.
that's the only reason I
got a 9 this time.
I had queen 8.
You gotta get the queen.
Queen 8 again. That's the only reason. I looked down, I'm like, I gotta do it again. It's his blind.
Button on Steve Day.
7,000.
Paul Moskowitz down first.
Had it that time. Why couldn't you call?
Paul in the black and white shirt with
It was only
the
600.
World Series poker hat.
Don't call him first.
Oh my gosh, I can't touch it.
Brandon gets the jack 10 this time.
Put yourself some hands outside.
600.
It's also the TV under my TV.
Raise the 600.
No, it is behind us on the
Newman, deuce 4 of spades raises to 600.
He sure changed his game up since season 1. I will give him that.
Yeah,
I just won the queen. What'd you say?
Call 6.
but then watching it this whole time, I didn't really notice the gradual change. But you coming in from season 1,
Yeah.
really knowing how his style was.
1200.
Newman hits his 2. Brandon with the best heart draw.
Two overs and a heart draw. He might take one off here. It's a good fold.
Suited Dan with the 8.
And a little heart draw.
Plenty of hands that can beat him at this point.
Sometimes he just doesn't believe somebody. He'll call him down.
He's been getting a lot of poker play in up at the Cleveland Casino lately too.
27 and a quarter.
Lets it go.
And there's no way Paul
watch
is
him.
going at ace
I
3.
figured if I call, you go all in. I don't want to fucking be jamming for 20 years.
It did show that Moskow's hand was live, but it was not.
He doesn't want to go far.
He still wouldn't have played either way.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
no way.
Is it for work?
Thought Dan might there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Just because he knows Newman can get out of line. But there was a lot of hands that beat him.
Joe?
The hands have really tamed themselves down from the first couple of hands of the game. Heather suited 6-7, let to go. Holds over to Brandon.
10-9. He's probably coming in for a raise.
That's a Brandon hand.
I'm good.
No, just a call. showing Heather as a live hand.
Oh, Heather. Yeah, Heather's not in this.
And
there we go.
Brandon flopping the best hand again.
Fold.
Moskowitz folds. Newman folds.
I had 2 clubs, 9 clubs or so.
Hey, he's showing his hands too. I think that's kind of dangerous.
I don't know. Sometimes it does Brandon some good. He shows a few good hands, and they start giving him a little more respect, and he can start bullying people around again.
You guys do that on the break,
after
right?
that right? It's a good idea.
Cheats on the break. Go ahead and try more Chase later.
Chase the Bracelet is going to change to www.chasethebracelet.xxx.
Chase the handcuffs.
What are you into? Like, right know about that side?
We have a different website for that. Just come out of BJ's line. 650. Raise. Call. Fold.
No, but robnewman.xxx is available.
Rob Newman XXX is available.
What? I trademarked it. I bought that like 3 years ago.
I don't want to steal that game.
Well, that would be true.
It's not, good thing it's not .org or...
Good luck, always.
1950.
Good luck, always.
More?
Joe Brenton all in with ace 10 of diamonds.
1950.
Good to see Newman calling here.
You look good.
Well, Heather, I think, raised. He started off with the
Joe,
fours.
you yours? Or you were
No, I was not.
usually the button where I want it.
Dude,
And Newman just called her.
Yeah, I see 650 is the raise by Heather. That's where fours go.
I was going to say, she,
Moskowitz's cards did not fold.
Call your cards do not fold.
Yeah.
There we go.
Raising a collar next to the collar.
I think if she could have closed out the action there, she might have called.
Steel balls.
13.
But with somebody behind her, it's just too dangerous with pocket fours.
Roll them. The card's folded. Yeah?
Get it, Joe. Get it, Joe.
Well, Newman can stand to lose these chips. Joe would really like to double up here.
And Heather would have flopped a set.
Joe Brenton lives to play on.
I wish you had more stuff.
And you can't tell by any reaction she made that she would have flopped a set there.
Hey, King Queen 810. I river the full card straight.
I know that was too good.
In the Philippines, that's good.
Heather, you're the button.
Yeah.
Rob Newman to act first this hand.
7.
That's so weird, like that.
Action's kind of slowed down now. We were getting some big hands versus each other early.
Kind of interesting how cards do go in numbers.
Oh yeah, you'll hit some stretches where it seems like you don't play a hand for 2 hours.
Some of us.
Well,
4.
I check.
Before the card hits the board, Heather checks. That's a telltale sign right there. Newman does have the best hand, but Heather really doesn't have anything.
I was gonna say, I don't know what's taking so long.
You hear him, Paul? You hear him? Show me the river. Show me the river. Then take that to me the minute you woke up this morning.
Cracked you? Because I cracked you?
I wouldn't be telling people that you woke up next to me.
You didn't wake up next to me.
Give me my name.
No, he was under. he just said no, he was under me. He does
crack me.
He does look like a
Did you
mom.
crack me? Is that what happened? You're right. That I blindly shove all of my chips in the pot.
Yeah, and then you guys just got mad at me for playing cards. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Looks like button is on Newman. Brandon to act first
That's
this
a good
hand.
call.
Although it looks like Steve Day doesn't have a blind out there, so.
Suited Dan finally wakes up with a hand here.
Disgusting.
On you, bro.
Look at that. Is he going to know what to do?
What was that?
Brandon Queen Jack.
Oh, there it is.
You did it.
Please
You
don't
gave
splash
me
the
a
pot,
hand.
bitch, back.
23-25. 2,325 all in.
Brandon might call here. He's got chips.
And it's only 23.75?
I think that's what they said.
And he's got the chips to do it.
He's only going to be like, I think, a 60-40 dog.
They're live. I know. He's king. Absolutely. Or you have
Marco can take a deep sigh of relief.
Decided to wise up, put the real cards in the hands of the real players, not the people min that you and me should be playing. You run in this house, you don't get the cards. I mean, I heard you cracked the dealer tonight.
I don't think you're cracking the deal.
I don't know about all that shit.
Dude, the dealer cracked this morning.
Cards,
Trey
BJ.
already said he was under.
You go.
I mean, Brandon's clearly a bot.
Clearly. Sometimes you can just tell who's pitching and who's catching, right?
Brandon calls with the Don Tatter. Suited.
That's the Don Tatter, huh?
Yep. Affectionately named.
I was going to say, and deservedly so, I would
I
imagine.
did. I did that for what you did. I asked it at a flop too, though. Check it out.
Four players to the flop. Ed hits the best of that.
Yeah, a couple of gut shot draws, though.
Kind of a minimal bet for there for 375. Looks like Brandon calls.
Real.
Fuck that. 75 is not a legal rate. Good luck.
That was his all in.
Yeah. I did not realize he was that low.
And Brandon.
Another spade hits the board.
And Brandon hits a jack on the river.
Newman.
Oh, Newman hit the straight.
Yep. That could be costly for Brandon.
Straight.
9-10 jack king.
Stone cold nuts.
Nothing but the nuts.
Can't beat a straight, that's for damn sure.
Newman's putting quite a stack together right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's got most of the chips in play.
I believe he does. He was in first at the break, and Brandon was in second, and he's taking some chips from Brandon. So.
That's why that's no good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, look at that. Heather gets a big hand this hand.
And let's see if anybody gets anything. Ooh, Steve's got sevens.
He's a little short stack, too.
Oh. Perfect, yeah.
It's okay.
Can you clear Ed, please?
Sure. I'll do it right after this hand plays out.
Yeah.
400 to go at it.
Oh, 1-1.
Is it? Oh, Steve.
Briggs.
Makes it 1,000 to play.
So,
All in.
looks like an all-in for Steve. Heather.
I was gonna say that.
I didn't hear all
I don't know what she's thinking about.
Yeah,
You can't possibly fold kings here.
No, and I wouldn't have put Steve on aces.
Well, yeah, but even if he's got him, he's still just got to take the beat.
Heather's got a serious look. Yeah, I'm serious look on her face.
No, I don't like this position.
Yeah.
You're like Brandon or bottom.
It's like we have
Looks up.
kings versus sevens here.
Well, I just don't like the position of being knocked out.
No 7 hits the board.
Oh, 7 on the river, how disgusting.
It's like Heather takes Steve Day out.
And Steve's out.
It was in a pleasant dimension.
See you next week, Steve.
See you next week, Steve.
Take some
tape with
Take some cake home, Steve.
I'm going to smear on the Royal Flush Girl.
Dinner tomorrow?
Big gracious.
Good night.
Where at? Where we going?
What was that?
Where at?
That's it? Okay.
We had beat up about 10
There's another person walking up for a party out back coming to your house.
Interesting.
No shame in folding, no shame in folding, guys. I'll take a walk. No shame in folding. No shame in folding, Bill. Come on. Rob? Come on, Rob. Come on, man. I'd have given you the walk.
I just wanted to see if you'd pop it.
Oh, I didn't even look at my card. Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours, buddy. Well,
Brandon begging for the walk and doesn't get it.
I saw someone carrying or something. I know, we're gonna end up showing up.
Alright, we got Brandon in the small blind. Suited Dan playing for Marco in the big blind. Which makes Paul Moskowitz first to act.
Backyard. For sure. Maybe not in Cal. Backyard. 2-4.
Paul with pocket fives.
There we go, Paul.
Got an eating problem, apparently. You're old,
Sooner or
right?
later, he's got to do something here with these hands.
Oh.
Now he'll fold his way to fourth or so tonight, it looks like. Trying to protect his chip with point lead.
Obviously. Taking his fat right.
You're dumb.
You're pretty hot.
Let's see what suited Dan does here with the king queen on the limp.
Paul, did you hear me?
No.
He said you're pretty hot. I said, yeah, fat guys always sweat.
Fuck yeah.
I'm
I'm like, I'm all around it. I'm just like, I'm all around it, but I'm like, you're too good. I'm playing the board.
Suited Dan wins it, check down. Blind versus blind.
I'm like, how dumb is this? And I'm like,
The funniest thing was I was going to raise. I'm glad I didn't.
And I'm
You
like-
would definitely call.
I would have been
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, really? I just let him in here.
And now we get docile up. Shit.
And the cards just run like that.
I should have bet.
Because I'm like, I know he gets one of those.
Right.
For sure. Actually, it's close.
Actually, the fear was you were in the check, so I did my hand and then you had a 4. But I'm like, really dumb.
We're all got a 5-7.
Not much going on here. Anybody bets, I think they'll take it.
Fold.
Fold.
Take a peek here, Paul. And we're doing good tonight, guys. We got like
I think Paul's going to get a walk.
4, 6. We got 4 people out before.
I tell you what, as tight as Paul's playing, I can't imagine anybody giving him a walk. I'd raise him with anything.
Yeah, last week, the last two,
All the viewers
No.
have
Last week,
reprieve
the
of
last
at least one
two-
sip of their
sections, or whatever you want to call it, of the episodes that I watched. All day the
That's
same.
what I was just
Come
saying.
on,
Like,
people, I wanna get to the
he's just
casino.
playing right
Hurry
now.
up, hurry up.
Protect the
You gotta
front
make
page.
this call. I want to get to the casino.
So it looks like Heather is to act first this hand.
A cage is not a babysitter.
Technically, it is.
400 to go.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs.
Leave
Duval.
a bowl of water, some food,
Oh my God.
some crackers.
It's okay to put a ball in the cage.
Over to Brandon, who's
I
full.
mean, if there's food and water.
Suited Dan, ace 10.
Food, water, and a pillow, what more do they need?
We'll give a blanket.
Yeah, that's warm.
Give a salt lick, we're good.
Salt lick and a blanket. There you
Yeah,
go.
just a
Dan, I'll
call.
give you a salt lick.
I believe so.
Come on, Joe.
I would like to raise there.
You've waited your whole life to put the ends up.
An ace short-handed here.
Come on, Jim.
Yeah, see now.
Ah, bang.
Now he's calling with a draw. And gets there.
There you go. I'm hungry.
Just call him, Dan. Don't raise.
Where's he going to do?
You got there now. Don't
As always.
raise. Don't do that.
No, you can't call that.
Not a second pair, I don't think.
16, 17.
Unless it's just a little bit more, I don't know.
16, 17.
And still a fair amount to call the second pair.
Yeah. It's not that much in the pot. I bet he folds though.
I would have loved to see Dan just call there. There's no draws out there that can beat him.
Even if he caught his queen, he's got kicker problems.
Yeah.
We're all that on the fold.
Or he rightly folds. Good.
Yeah.
Good job, Joe.
I think if he'd have just called there, he might have been able to get a little more on the river.
Nice bit of draw. Call them the pockets. You had
I sold him on the speech, man. I sold him on the speech. That was like,
Alright, I'm ready to go to clean up.
no.
Newman
I
is
said
red
I
to
can't
act
just
first.
call 800 with 22 in my
Big blind
hand.
has
So I got them all in.
Yeah, whatever. You know, your speech don't work good, Dick.
It'll work. Speech will work.
No, it didn't. He just didn't have
The blind's 200, 400 now.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what they
Cards are
are.
good,
I can't. I didn't ever could hear it.
You didn't have it.
PJ, what are the blinds?
I'm not at
2-4.
Okay, thanks.
I haven't played in so long, I don't remember the blind structure.
Well, we did have a little clock that started showing up on it, but it was affecting the wireless.
Oh, is that
She
what?
had too many out there. That's why I folded. I thought it was more.
All of it.
it. Now you want some more.
Joe Brunson all with deuces.
Well,
He might get called by Brandon here.
he's figured out the secret.
950. 2,950 total.
That's still pretty big raise. Yeah. Yeah, he did get called by Brandon.
Brandon and
Good luck, all in.
I thought if anybody at the table was calling him, it was Brandon.
Come on, choose. I see you all
Heather's
night.
cards did not muck.
Heather's cards are still in. Alright, I'll
Yeah, there. It just helps the.
Don't worry, if she wins, we'll give them back to her. Don't worry. You're good.
sorry to kill the momentum.
Nothing showed
Give
up.
it to me.
Oh,
Nice hand.
Wow.
We lost the
Board never
I guess
showed
it-
up.
Yeah, board didn't show for
I
some
don't know if
reason.
you have a pair of shoes, beat? You have a pair of shoes, beat?
I don't know what happened.
Should be back up now.
I guess you were right. It wasn't the right time last time.
I
What's
lost
your
the
headset?
momentum in the first time.
Alright, big one, excuse me.
Honey, did you hear me?
I did not.
Lost connection for the first time?
Oh, is it back up?
No, it's connecting.
Now something happened to the USB connection.
I try to make people feel good.
I'm going to come out and take a look
Right,
at
you
that.
want him to feel good that he laid
I
down
feel good.
with a better hand.
He does now. He doesn't double up the next hand. So,
That's true.
so it doesn't matter now. It's irrelevant.
Right.
He made the right move.
Brandon under the
Parts are
gun.
good, PJ?
I can't read everything, somebody might have pulled out his cord or something.
Joe on the button with ace-7.
Chinese coming out straight
Heather in the small blind with ace-10.
I never.
Just ask about your one for her.
May see some action here.
out. You can throw in.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
Joe just doubled up.
I
So.
guess Paul can see it.
Well, can you see? Well, I ain't got no kids, but-
Technically, you can't have those. You don't have the right card.
It's a dark check, right, Heather?
Check it here, Heather. Like to see you check one time.
Painful? Better have it like one.
Must have been a square too or something. You know, there's crossing. I was like, damn, I could afford that turtle.
What's that?
Oh, Heather, you should have bet the river.
Now with an 8.
Yeah, give me some black.
Easy. Easy.
Hey! We got bone bread!
Oh. And our last viewer.
All right, we've got Heather on the
just
button.
tuned out.
Rob Newman and Brandon in the small and big blind. Suited Dan playing for Marco, first act.
You're right, we cannot lose. You're getting the
On the button.
Yeah, just give it a second and play it right.
6 or 8.
I have to get a counter on steps.
And there's a surprise. Paul Moskowitz folds.
You wanted to see how many foot
Oh,
Just lay them all out. Alright. I said I just, I'm gonna talk about how you play.
Nobody flips much anything here.
Come on, man. Come on, buddy. Come on.
And Rob hits a pair of threes on the river.
with the train!
that same hand right there. Rolling it out.
We got Rob on the button with Brandon in the small blind, Suited Dan in the big blind, and Paul Moskowitz asks
You know, I'll play a little more aggressive.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
No,
Cards.
good.
Joe with twos, Heather with threes. I think the first one to bet here is going to win that. Joe folds the twos.
Going up.
I like the raise by Heather.
1,000 straight.
Suited Dan with the ace-6 of hearts. He could see Heather's cards. He'd call in a heartbeat. He still may with suited cards.
Oh, I thought we were going to in for another speech.
And Dan spikes the ace. And Heather checks behind. And Dan checks again.
1,000.
And Dan bets 1,000. I don't think Heather can call. She's playing the board, just about.
What? You got gone.
Button's good.
Your nines were good.
Nice hand.
She didn't have nines. And they weren't good either, Brandon.
Well, Chris was told that.
That was a good fold then. Can you do red wind or something? There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't want to see you laughing all the time.
Even if you hit your fours, you're good.
Which one?
Joe, first act. With a king 9. Alright, we're about to see how tight Paul Moskowitz is here. Ace 10's a pretty good hand, 6-handed.
Call 4.
He needs to shove here. And he checks. Well, he flopped an ace, suited Dan flopped an ace, Brandon flopped bottom pair. Let's see what happens here. Suited Dan's got to think he's got the best hand when Moskowitz doesn't raise.
Get rid of the green side.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think you got me out kicked, sir.
One black.
He could have won a big pot there.
Right.
And I think we're going to have a 10-minute break here.
We're on break.
Yes.
Seriously?
Greens are gone, right?
Yes.
Yes, it will. That's the break for us, folks.
You're going to clear off the green, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's make sure it's ready.